Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Suresh from Mind is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. I gotta admit, I kind of like was on a break, from posting content. That's because I was like out of town. I had been to my homeland in India for like almost a month. It was a very fulfilling trip, very satisfying trip. Caught up with lots of friends and family. So on the whole, it was fantastic, and it's good to be back at work. And whenever I find the time, there's like a pile of diecast sitting on my table, that I want to kind of like open and review with you folks here on the channel. So today I have a set of Boulevards lined up for you guys. So I wouldn't say this is the latest one. Probably this is the penultimate latest one. All right. So this is 116 through 120. I think the market, the retail market is already having like 121 through 125. So this is the, one prior to the most recent one. Let's put it that way, right? So a pretty cool lineup, of course. Let's check it out. So this one is the Porsche 935, and the other cars in this mix include. Let me just like lift the camera here. The other cars in this mix include a Lancia Delta Integrale, a 91 BMW M5, a Toyota Land Cruiser FJ43, and an Alfa Romeo GTV6 3.0. So that's the lineup of cars in this mix. Pretty interesting mix, I would say. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So the first car of today is the Porsche 935, right? So it's a Group 5 silhouette race car developed by Porsche AG and produced from 1977 to 1981. But that's all about Porsche 935. There is something very specific about this model, right? First, let's check out the card art, right? So it's a beautiful looking Porsche 935, and has some pretty cool graphics. And if you see there on that side of the car, it says SuperCOLLCTR. Yes. So that's what this particular model is about. This model is actually a collab between this studio called SuperCOLLCTR. I think they're based out of LA. I think so. They recently had their product launch and website launch. So they call this the Porsche 935X, right? So it's inspired by the Porsche 935, but the person, Rod Chong, also known as RevSect, right? So he's apparently the owner of the car based on which this model is built on. So Rod Chong, also known as RevSect, he created a transformation that melds art and engineering. This is what their site had to say about this car. And pretty fun fact, their site launched on May 1, right? So their summary had something about merging car culture, design collectibles, and electronic music into an underground DLTA vibe. So pretty cool. So this is actually based on a real world model out there called the 935X, right? So pretty cool livery. They had some, they had some points about, the choice of colors for this model, like basically black, gray, and white, right? So RS stands for RevSect, Rod Chong, the current owner. And there you can see SuperCOLLCTR. So actually, there was an event, probably their product launch, where they had like signed. They had like a huge merch release and everything. So, part of that merch was this particular Boulevard Hot Wheels collab being signed by the owner, Rod Chong. And I also happened to notice that a few models are still available on their website for sale. So, I don't know for certain if this is gonna be like a one and done collab between Hot Wheels and SuperCOLLCTR, but if they are really into all these beautiful race cars, I hope that this collab goes on like Period Correct did in the past, right? I would really love to see some limited edition runs So there we have it. Excellent choice of wheels. I think they probably most likely reflect the actual selection of wheels on the real world model. And the tail fin says Super. Okay, so fantastic addition to any Porsche lover. So there we have the Porsche 935X, marketed as Porsche 935 by Hot Wheels. And up next, we have the Lancia Delta Integrale. Integrale. Hope I'm not killing it, right? So let's open this up. This model, we have seen it, show up as main lines and premium. So far, this is like just the 7th time they have made this model. And it's the 2nd time it's making a premium appearance. The previous time it was part of a premium model was as part of the Walmart exclusive diorama sets. So that one was called the Group B diorama set. So the Lancia Delta Integrale, and it says Speziata. Most likely, I'm thinking that means something to do with speed, right? So Speziata. I always like all these Easter eggs that Mattel, kind of places it in tailplates and decos and everything. So fun model, elegant execution. Not a lot of details with regards to the deco, right? But simple and elegant execution. And I think, if I look at the card art, it spells something like HF or something. But I don't see it on the sponsors on the back. So not sure what that means. But anyway, so here goes. The Lancia Delta Integrale. And up next at 118, we have the 91 BMW M5. So far, this particular model has been a premium exclusive model, right? So it has only made 2 appearances, and this is the 2nd one. The first one was part of the Fast and Furious, right? So in Fast and Furious, it appeared in full black. So, and this one is like full white, almost like complementary models, So pretty elegant casting, I should say. Simple and elegant execution. Again, just like the Lancia that we saw last time. So not a lot of details with regards to deco, but check this out. It says Bahn burner, right? So Bahn is German for highway, Autobahn, right? And burner. So that's what it is. BMW, hailing from Germany, is the Bahn burner. That's pretty cool. Like I said, you gotta love all these Easter eggs that Mattel puts into tailplates. And up next, we have a very similar, we have a model that shares a very similar story. At 119, we have the Toyota Land Cruiser FJ43. The reason I said that, we have another model that shares a very similar story is that this one also, this is just the 2nd time that Mattel has produced this casting. So a pretty solid looking, Toyota FJ Cruiser, so brilliant execution, those desert camouflage colors, right? So the Toyota on the grille for details, a nice looking, spare tire at the back, and, so the reason, yes. So circling back, I'm sorry, I kind of like digressed too quickly. So the reason I said that it shares a very similar story to the BMW is that this is also, just the 2nd time this model is making an appearance, and the earlier one being, yeah, you guessed it right, it's Fast and Furious. So both of these models kind of like made their debut appearances in Fast and Furious, and then they just made only their 2nd appearance both in Boulevards, okay? So I hope that doesn't become a trend though, right? So we don't want all Fast and Furious models showing up again in a different color in Boulevards, because we would like to see, interesting new models. So, that's a request to Mattel. All right. And up next, and the last one in this mix at 120 is the Alfa Romeo GTV6 3.0. Now, this model has come around the block a few times. In the premium line, it made its debut in the Car Culture World Tour. Remember? So it was that red car, right? And then it also happened to be the chase candidate. So, if you got lucky, you could have scored one of those, black chase pieces, right? Full black. So now it's made its appearance in the Boulevard series. I guess what these models kind of like lack in deco, I think this model kind of pretty much sums it up. it kind of like maintains the team average, we should say. So there we have Hot Wheels, Yokohama, 82, just sneaking around to see if this one had any Easter eggs, but nope. Okay, so Yokohama, and I really like that 4-leaf clover deco, Alfa Romeo, and not any Easter egg, but a nice Hot Wheels deco right there on the tailplate. So that's it. That's it with this one. So nice colors, really pops out. So there we have the fifth model and the last one in this lineup of Boulevards, the Alfa Romeo GTV6 3.0. So what's your favorite? I think I'm gonna go with number 1 and number 2. All right, and then pretty much those 3 models are pretty much at number 3, right? So what are your favorites, and what other castings would you like Mattel to release in the Boulevard series? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and if you like the video, click that like button, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Until I meet you guys next time, this is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome.